I had to get brutally honest with myself. What I have been doing has not been working. So to end the year strong, I am locking in. In this video, I'm going to share with you the goals I've written out, how I came up with them, and what I plan on doing to action them. I'm pivoting this channel a little bit because I do want to keep sort of a running journal of how I am growing my business, Hallway Media. If you caught my last video, you saw that I recently launched Hallway Media to support brands trying to reach clients through podcast production, video editing, and other kind of content creation. And it's been a journey. I mean, it's like any freelance sort of gig. I've had clients come and go, short-term deals, and then I've had some consistent ones along the way, which have helped kind of keep this dream alive. And because I've had those consistent clients, and because I was kind of enjoying the stay-at-home dad life after working my butt off, sometimes 3 jobs at once for the past 12 years, I took a step back from trying to grow the business. But I know that's not possible to keep up, and that I need to focus on finding more clients and attracting more business so that I can stay on this path that I've created for myself so that it makes sense for me and for my family. And I didn't want to wait until the new year to get that momentum back. And that's why I'm treating these last 2 months of the year as my Q4 lock-in. I want to build a sustainable system of content creation and marketing so that I can hit 2026 running and not start from scratch on January 1st like everyone else is going to. What I want to document is the process, how I'm growing this business, how I'm setting metrics, and how I'm creating real content that is going to drive real business and revenue to my bottom line. So let's start right here with the goals I've written out to end this year strong. I've spent a lot of time creating goals. It was something my previous company cared a lot about, and I've coached and trained hundreds of people on how to do it. And it's really 2 basic frameworks that simplifies how to write goals out. One is SMART, and the other one is this idea of working from the end in mind, or the Apollo 13 framework. So the SMART framework is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I'm not going to break down every single letter, but to sort of simplify it, a SMART goal is something that is specific and has a buy when. So the idea of writing a goal like, I'll start running in November, changing that to, I will run a half marathon by December 31st. See the 2 differences in those? If you write the goal out of, I'll start running in November, on November 1st, if you go out and run 5 miles, then you don't run again until the last day in November and you go out for 2 miles. I guess you sort of hit it, but that's because it wasn't very specific. Whereas if you write out the goal, I will, not passive, I will start or anything like that, I will run a half marathon by December 31st, that is going to include the training runs. And so you're going to knock out that I'll start running in November by setting that clear goal for the end of the year. The next part is this idea of the Apollo 13 framework. So Apollo 13, everything was going wrong. They were going to be the 3rd lunar landing. They were supposed to end up on the moon. And so the crew kind of got everybody in a room, and to simplify things, they started from the end in mind. They started with, our crew arrives home safely. Okay, how did our crew get to Earth? How did our crew get off the moon? How did our crew get on the moon? And that was how they built out their systems. Of course, it didn't go great for them, so maybe it's not an awesome framework to use, but for me, and I know for a lot of people, sometimes writing goals can be daunting. They don't know where to begin. And so it's interesting for me to start with the end in mind and then work back from there. So how did I apply these 2 to the goals I've created for the end of this year? I have 3 different themes for my goals: business growth, content creation, and family. I like putting my goals into buckets and or having themes around them instead of just a list of goals, because I feel like if I have, let's say, 2 or 3 different goals within each theme, if I can knock out 1 to 2 of them in 2 out of the 3, then it feels like a successful 3 months or whatever season I set that for, whether it's for the year or a quarter, whatever, as opposed to if I have 9 goals written out, but I only cross off 4, that doesn't hit quite the same way, right? You might feel like a failure. So I like to have buckets. And so I have business growth, content creation, and family. For business growth, my goal is clear. It's a smart goal. I will add 2 more clients and $2,000 of recurring revenue month over month by the end of January. So from there, I have to work back. How am I going to do that? And that's where content creation comes in. I will create LinkedIn and Instagram posts every single week and publish a video to YouTube every single week. YouTube is my digital business card, if you will. It also allows me to continue doing what I love, which is make videos and share ideas, which is how this all got started in the first place. And if I can create more content, maybe some of it goes quote unquote viral, or viral by my standards, where it's a few thousand versus a couple hundred, and there's more eyeballs on it, then maybe that could lead to business down the road. But I need to have several spokes to the wheel, if you will, of trying things that work. So in order for me to find these clients, I can't just DM on Instagram or just go into businesses and create relationships with business owners who don't have time to create their own video content and share with them what I do. I need to be doing a little bit of everything. So that's why my goal is to create and publish a YouTube video every single week. And to do this, I know that I needed a consistent schedule. And so for me, what I came up with was Monday, Tuesday being client work, Wednesday filming the video, like I'm doing right now. It is Wednesday, actually, funny enough. Thursday, wrap up client work for the week, and then Friday, edit and upload my own video to go out on the following Monday. So goal number 1, business growth. Finding 2 more clients, adding $2,000 a month in recurring revenue. Goal number 2, content creation, publishing a video to YouTube every week while also publishing twice a week to LinkedIn and Instagram. And I know that if I can stay on schedule and consistently work on those first 2 goals, then goal number 3 will be pretty easy. Goal number 3 for me is unplugged family weekends. I was realizing that I was sort of blurring the line, the life-work balance of being a content creator, constantly shooting things, trying to come up with ideas or watch YouTube for ideas. And I found myself just on my phone a lot over the weekend when my kids were home from school, and I didn't like it. And that was one of the reasons I'm not pursuing a quote unquote normal career where I would maybe be asked to work on the weekends or complete random assignments on the weekends. So why am I doing that now when I'm trying to build this out to create a life of freedom and a life that me and my family love? So by having that consistent schedule, it allows me to have unplugged family weekends. And I've been trying to elevate those weekends as well to make sure that I hit this goal. I've, created a running ChatGPT project of Florida places to visit. I'll find one that'll come up on TikTok or Instagram, and I'll add it in there, and I'll, put out like how far is it from where we live? How much is it going to cost? And so when we have a weekend coming up where we don't have anything planned per se with friends or other family, then I can just say, hey, create a weekend itinerary based on the places I've added to this list. And that's something that ChatGPT is awesome about. It's actually a video I want to make, is how to utilize ChatGPT to build out family itineraries and trips and things like that, because it has made our trips so much better. I know that I can go to that and come up with a cool weekend. It allows me to be more present instead of trying to figure out in the moment Saturday morning when we're up and eating breakfast what we're going to do that day. We already know. So it allowed me to reach this goal of having an unplugged, present, awesome family weekend, goal number 3. So that'll do it. That is how I turned a vague feeling of needing to get back on track into what I hope is a sustainable, repeatable system that I can reach these goals with. I'll report back in a couple months, share with you where I'm at with these and the process I took to get there and what has worked and what hasn't. Maybe this is a wake-up call for you. Maybe you've had the same kind of feeling where if you're building something or creating content, trying to build a brand, and you've sort of lost focus or you've gotten sidetracked, maybe this can be a wake-up call for you to lock in. Just write 2 to 3 simple goals and create a plan and a strategy on how to reach them. I would love to hear about them. What goals are you working on to end the year strong? Comment those below. Don't wait until January to reset. Start now, build momentum, and end the year strong. And if you're building something, whether it's a brand or business or your content creation or just following your creative dream, subscribe and follow along. I'll be sharing what's working and what's not, and maybe some tips and tricks along the way. Until next time.